All right. Yeah, I was not just standing on the side there, ready to do that cool intro. But, guys, what's going on? So, we're training a new inbox manager, and basically, we're setting him up for success as much as we can. It's an important position at the agency. And so, just wanted to share a little bit of what we've been doing to make it easier for them, and obviously how you could do the same. I get a lot of questions about inbox management, so this should be able to clear up quite a bit of it. It's pretty easy, and you can make it very routine. You can build SOPs around it really, really easily. Most of what our guy is doing is pretty much just copy and pasting. They just need to be there at a certain time, respond with the right stuff, pitch a time. So let's jump into it. Imagine our response is send me more info, or you ask them if they would like some more info and they say yes. I always take these steps every single time. And so let me just frame it the way that I like to look at it. Anytime someone says, send me more info, I'm definitely interested, yada, 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 I'm always going to respond. First thing I'm going to say is, hey, name, thanks for getting back to me, or appreciate you getting in touch, or something of the likes of that. Just kind of thanking them for responding. For some reason, that hits the subconscious at a decent level. They're like, oh, yeah, no problem, right? And so there you go, boom. And I'm going to skip the 2-second parts right here and go to something that's a little bit easier to understand, because for me, it made things easier to understand at the beginning, right? I'm only going to be sending about 4 sentences. And I know that the first one is just going to be thanks for getting back to me. So there's only 3 sentences left. And I know my 4th sentence is going to be pitching a time to meet. Do you have 15 minutes for a walkthrough? Would you be up for a breakdown of this? You know, literally any kind of call to action. But the point is I know that my last line is going to be a call to action. So I have those 2 set up, and the call to actions are pretty simple. Like, do you have 15 minutes on this day? Would you be up for a breakdown of this, a walkthrough of this on Thursday at 3:30 p.m.? And then always tailor your times that you pitch to to their time zone. So if like we were pitching a time to me, I would always search it like this. I would search the name, the company, and then the LinkedIn. And so you can see that I'm obviously in Scottsdale, Arizona, and so I'd be on Pacific time zone. So I would always pitch them on Pacific time zones. So 10:30 PST on Thursday. Boom. That's it. So with that said, we already have 2 of our 4 sentences written. And now we basically just need to send more info. And so this right here can be pretty simple. If you guys have, or your client has, a pitch deck or a 1-pager or something, you can just say, sure, attach just some more info on this. And just attach it. And then add some, well, let's just talk about this first. If you don't have that, then just add your website. Just be like, sure, here's a link to our website with a bunch of more info on this. And then you can just literally hyperlink it. Don't send the link, just hyperlink it. So boom. If you don't have that, you can write out pretty much what it is that you guys are doing in 1 sentence. So for me, you know, if they ask like, sure, some more info on this, be like, you know, we're helping agencies just like yours, or we do lead generation through cold email and book a minimum of 5 guaranteed calls every month, or you don't pay. And then literally after that, so if you don't have the decks, just say 1 sentence of what it is. After that, I'm adding a little bit of value. This doesn't have to be there, but I think it makes the conversation just flow a little bit better. So if I was talking to an influencer marketing agency, I'd be like, you know, and we just helped another influencer marketing agency sign X, Y, and Z, so pretty confident in working with you guys as well. And then I would pitch a time. So this thing shouldn't cut out in 20 seconds because I don't know if Loom's only going to give me 5 minutes here, but I'm just going to keep going. So point is, guys, every single time I'm going through these pretty much 4 steps. I have 4 sentences. I know the first one is going to be thanks for getting back to me. I know that the 4th one is going to be a call to action. Nice. They let us go over the 5 minutes. So, and then I know the middle two are basically going to just be the info. Just going to be some beefy more info. And if you do have the deck, then you can just add more value too. Maybe it's a case study. Maybe it's just something that you see on their site. It really can be anything, you know, or you can add the deck and then say like, but to keep it brief, here's what we can do for you, or here's what we do in short, and then add the call to action. But this is a pretty simple way to pretty much respond to most emails, is you're going to have a thanks for getting back to me, and you're going to have a call to action at the end. Whatever they respond to you, whether it's about pricing, questions about X, Y, or Z, that's where you want to fill in the value or the info or whatever they ask for. But always know that we're going to have pretty much 4 sentences, maybe 5 sentences. Top one, thanks for getting back. Bottom one, call to action. Fill in the middle. Don't go crazy. Pretty simple. That's what we do every single time. After that, what we do is obviously follow-up. So say you pitch a time, they don't respond. And this is literally the templates that we built for our new inbox guy. So if you're an agency owner, obviously I recommend building the template so they can just copy and paste. And that is a lot easier to do on the follow-ups than it is the interested responses when they're fresh in the inbox from the sequence. So what we do is very simple. Guys, quick reminder. Value email, another reminder. All of these around 2 to 3 days within each other. So 3 follow-ups. Very simple. The first one. All we want to do is basically just remind them of our response. They wanted more info, or they asked a question, or they did this and that, right? All we need to do is remind them of our response, because they definitely forgot. Cold emails, responding to cold emails are definitely not the top priority for them, and probably not even close. So when you give them what they want in the first email, they're going to read it. Maybe they don't respond. 3 days later, hey, did you see my email? Or just making sure you saw that email. Would you be up for a walkthrough of this whenever? And that right there, like the whenever, always plug and play. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, time zone that they're in, that's it. Also have this and this time. Very simple. Always pitch times. I always pitch times. Pretty much always. Sometimes I won't, but it's usually always like, do you have time on 1:30, or do you have time 1:30 p.m. Wednesday, whatever. You understand my drift. You better. Okay. That's the first reminder. Always just reminding them of pretty much the more info that they asked for, or whatever questions that they asked, letting them reread that and then respond to that email. You're just reminding them basically to respond to that email. What you don't want to do is send them 4 more sentences on top of the 4 sentences that you already sent, because then when they recheck the email, they have to go and reread everything and kind of recomprehend what the conversation was even about and what they asked. And now they have 8 different lines to look at, and it's kind of all over the place. So if you just remind them like, hey, this is what it is, or hey, did you see what I just sent you? All they have to do is look at that and respond to that. Really simple. So if they don't respond to that email, and generally speaking, dude, the first one is going to be where they respond the most. They're going to be like, hey, yeah, missed your email. Yeah, I have time to talk at this time. Boom. If they miss that, value email. So this is where you're going to kind of give them more insight on how you can help them, show them how you've helped brands like theirs, give them examples, add different, if you're doing creative, what I like to do is I like to add creatives that we've done for our clients. So if we're talking to a cosmetics company, I'll add L'Oreal, for example, and I'll show them what we did for them. Or what you can do is basically, pretty much just remind them what you guys can do for them. We could take care of everything from X to Y to Z. It'll take us only 14 days to get you set up. Literally. Like, it can just be a value email. 3 to 4 sentences max. Pitch a time. All of these emails, guys, just pitch a time every single time. Always have a call to action in pretty much all of your follow-ups. Because if you don't, there's nothing to respond to. You really just want to give someone the opportunity to respond yes or no. This email's getting this fucking video is getting a little long. So I'll just wrap it up on the value email. Really, I like to tie stuff to case studies or similar results. If you can just remind them like, hey, you were interested in this. So I'm going to show you again how we helped an influencer marketing agency do X, Y, and Z. Or a creative helped a brand do X, Y, and Z. And if you don't have that, then really just paint the picture for them in numbers and the amount of time that it's going to take to get them set up. And just say, like, we really don't need a whole lot from you guys. Do you have time for a walkthrough? Because the goal is to get them on a call, kind of gain their trust, then get them on a second call, gain their trust, obviously try to get them to buy. Cool? Okay. Next reminder, we're going to be pretty similar to the first one. If they haven't responded by this time, chances are they probably aren't interested. But since they were interested in the first place, there's no reason to not keep following up with them until they say no, because it doesn't really hurt. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? Might as well. And so here, I would kind of just remind them, like, hey, would you be up for a walkthrough of this? Literally just pitch like a straight up time. That's the only thing that they can respond to. You don't have to say anything else at that point. Just, hey, do you have time to explore this? Boom. They say yes, they say no. Move on from there. What we do after that is, I'm going to try to wrap this up in the next 2 minutes here. So we put them into this automatic follow-up campaign. So this is pretty simple, but it's really helpful. Basically, we go through the sequence here. Reminder, value reminder. They don't respond to anything. We funnel them into a sequence that comes from a different person at the company. So if Nick, who's the co-owner of our agency, if he reaches out to them, they respond, send it. We send it. We respond with 3 more follow-ups, nothing. What we do is take that lead, put them into a sequence that comes from me. Okay? And so we can kind of just add a bunch of people into one sequence and basically say, hey, Nick reached out about helping you guys get more clients and you responded with some positive interest. Is this something you're still open to talking about? Literally, that's pretty much my exact email. And that comes from me, and we do that for all of our clients. And so we have it pretty systemized, guys. So it's like, send them whatever they have, answer their question on the first email. When that doesn't happen, 3 follow-up email sequence, nothing there, straight into an email sequence from someone else at the company. It's usually someone else at the company makes it so much easier to kind of introduce yourself. And I think that's just a smart way to kind of lump everybody into one. And again, approach them with a fresh person. In that sequence, ours is pretty long. I think it's like 7 emails. It goes for a couple months. But those are very basic follow-ups, guys. It's just like, hey, literally I'm pretty... And we actually personalized that one pretty deep. So we'll add the product and culture variable, which is obviously in the course. So we'll personalize it a little bit, just talk about some of our case studies, talk about how we're really confident in helping them, increase sales by at least 100%, which is a pretty modest amount. Obviously, talk about guarantees, very basic follow-up campaign. But again, we remove ourselves from having to send them manually after those 3 follow-ups and automatically go into another one. And honestly, we see really good results there. Usually about half of them respond interested because I don't know why. It just comes from a different name. They're like, yeah, sure. I am still interested. Sorry, I was ignoring him. And then, obviously, you play the inbox management game from there again. Hope that makes sense. Hope that's helpful. Please ask me questions in the comments because I'm obviously a cold email god, and I'm here to open your gift boxes. I'm sorry. I'm out on that one. But good stuff, guys. Let me know if you need me. Peace.